Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Quotable. In this episode, we're going to be talking about video games. I know. Finally, a topic that isn't depressing or something that makes you think too much. Just a nice palate cleanser after all that heavy stuff from the last few episodes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some fun facts about video games and the people who made them. You might learn a thing or two, but hey, even if you don't, at least you'll have 100% completion on this episode, right? Right. Okay, let's get started. Number 10. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Shigeru Miyamoto. Arguably one of the most prolific video game designers in history, Shigeru Miyamoto is best known for creating the Super Mario Bros. Series, The Legend of Zelda, and Animal Crossing. He's also responsible for the creation of Nintendo's Virtual Boy, which was a massive commercial failure. But he's forgiven for that. One massive hit. Well, this quote is pretty self-explanatory. Rushing a game leads to half-baked content, glitches and bugs that make the game unplayable, and overall just a terrible experience for everyone. Take E.T. on the Atari 2600, for example. It's widely regarded as one of the worst games ever made. Oh, and it contributed to the end of the Atari era and helped crash the video game industry. Yeah, it was that bad. Now compare that to a game that was delayed several times before its release, like, say, The Last of Us Part 2. Even with its insane amount of hype, the game didn't come out until it was ready, and even then it had to be patched for certain parts. This is why so many successful games today are as-a-service titles, with seasons of content planned out years in advance. Fans are willing to wait nowadays. After all, we've been conditioned to do so. Number 9. Games are the highest form of art because they have the power to simulate life. Chris Crawford. Chris Crawford is an independent game developer who's been programming since the 1960s. His most popular title is the 1988 computer game Balance of Power. Oh, and he once programmed a computer to play Dungeons and Dragons. That's pretty cool. Anyway, he once said in an interview that he believed games were the highest form of art. He elaborated by saying that games can evoke the same emotions real life does, and can move you to tears, laughter, or anger. He believes that due to how personal our experiences are with games, there is no objective way to judge their quality. Do you agree with his assessment? Are games art? I mean, if you don't, what is Street Fighter VI, the movie? Is that not art? Number 8. Good design makes people say, wow, that was effortless. Bad design makes people say, wow, that was effortful. Albert Y. Kim. Originally from Hong Kong, Albert Y. Kim is a video game designer, best known for his work on the Mass Effect franchise. He has also worked on Star Trek and Ghost Recon 2. Nowadays, he runs his own design firm where he teaches aspiring game designers. This quote is especially relevant today, with so many games trying so hard to push the boundaries of graphics and visuals. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 promised us a new era of video games, but instead delivered us patches. The Last of Us Part 2 took 8 years in development, but you would never know it by looking at it. It just looks so natural and flawless. Even something as simple as a lighting effect can completely change the way a game looks. The developers of Street Fighter VI spent months trying to get the lighting to look just right. It may not seem like much, but it really adds up. Number 7. Stop playing games and go touch grass. This one doesn't need any explanation. I'm sure all of us have gotten this message at one point or another. Parents have been saying it since the dawn of video games. It used to be more believable when Pac-Man was just a dot-eating maze game. But nowadays, it's harder to justify. Video games are a huge part of our culture now and are only growing. If your parents told you to stop playing games and go touch grass, ask them if they would rather you be touching keyboard or mouse. They won't say anything. No. 6. The greatest game ever is the one you're playing right now. Unknown. I don't know who said this, but I have to say it's a really catchy quote. It's a bit of a shame that there's no real way to verify this quote, because if I could find out who said it, I would definitely send it to them. No, I would probably make them say it 3 times on camera. This is my channel after all. Number 5. Every game is a new opportunity to tell a great story. Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux is a legendary game designer best known for the series he created, Populous Theme Park and Goddess. Unfortunately, he's also known for making insane promises about his games, only to disappoint. But that's neither here nor there. He is considered a pioneer in the field of video games and is credited with popularizing the alpha and beta testing phases of video game development. In this quote, Molyneux touches on the narrative aspect of video games. Games are more than just pixels and polygons. They're worlds that we willingly immerse ourselves in. And what better way to explore these worlds than with a captivating story? Sure, not every game needs a deep and meaningful plot, but a good story can elevate a game from good to great. I mean, take 2 games like Dark Souls and Shadow of the Colossus. Both critically acclaimed games with similar gameplay, level design, and art style, but one of them has a story, while the other is just a bunch of words. Guess which is which. Number 4. Video games are better than TV because you are part of the action. Unknown. This one is pretty self-explanatory. With video games, you're not just watching things happen, you're actually doing. It's kind of like the difference between reading a book and watching a movie. Some people prefer books because you can use your imagination to picture the characters and settings, while others prefer movies because you don't have to expend any energy imagining things. Most people will say they prefer books, though, because they secretly think they're smarter than everyone else. I'm not one of those people. I'd rather just watch a movie. No. 3. Gaming is not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Unknown. This one's also pretty self-explanatory. There are people who devote their entire lives to gaming. It's not uncommon to see families in Korea who have a son, a daughter, and a pro gamer. Sometimes all 3 are the same person. It's not exactly a walk in the park being a professional gamer, though. Many spend years training, grinding, and competing in tournaments just to make a living. But hey, if they win, they get bragging rights for at least a year until someone else takes the title. Number 2. You don't need to be a gamer to play video games. Unknown. Not everyone likes pizza, but that doesn't stop them from eating it occasionally. Not everyone likes broccoli, but that doesn't stop them from putting it in their mouth. And not everyone is a gamer, but that doesn't stop them from playing Call of Duty. Every year, millions of non-gamers take up controllers to play the latest Call of Duty or Madden. These games don't require any skill or coordination, so anyone can pick them up and play. You're not missing out on anything important either. All you're missing out on is money. And finally, number 1. If you aren't playing the game to have fun, then what's the point? Unknown. This is sort of like a mantra for gamers. Having fun should always come first. If you're playing a game and it's not fun anymore, then it's time to take a break. You don't need to beat every single game you start. Your time is valuable, so don't waste it on meaningless pursuits like getting 100% completion. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Until next time, remember to stay awesome.